Put on those 3D glasses. Here comes Friday the 13th, Part 3. Jason returns to chop up some more victims. It's a bit of a departure from the first two. For one thing, there's no camp counselors this time around. It's about a group of friends who decide to spend some time at a house by the lake. And the overall campiness is cranked up just a little bit. The characters are more outrageous and over the top. We get some filthy pot-smoking hippies, a ridiculous gang of thugs, the annoying yet oddly sympathetic jokester, and a girl haunted by memories of once being attacked by Jason in the woods, who finally has to confront her fears or die trying. Part 3 is well known for originally being filmed in 3D, so you'll often find things flying at the screen. Everything from baseball bats to joints to severed eyeballs to pitchforks to harpoons, etc., etc. It's a little distracting, especially when it lingers on a shot which may or may not have been impressive in 3D in 1982. But horror movies usually have a bunch of stuff flying at the screen anyway, so I'm wondering if a viewer who is unaware of the three-dimensional roots would even notice. Either way, it doesn't really take away from the fun of the movie. This installment is also well known for being the very first Friday the 13th movie to feature Jason with his hockey mask. Yay! Maybe this mask gives Jason superhuman powers too, because this is also the first entry in the series to suggest that Jason has great, powerful strength. In one scene, he is able to crush a man's skull with his bare hands. Ouch. Apparently Jason isn't the only one with superpowers in the movie either. Here's one thing that always kind of bugged me. In an earlier scene, Jason picks off one of the gang members. He repeatedly hacks at the guy. He's dead, right? No, because he pops up again later, near the end. He attempts to stop Jason's rampage and is killed immediately. Baffling, pointless, and it just doesn't make much sense. But it's not like you're looking for anything logical in a Friday the 13th movie. There's nothing really special about the lead girl in the movie. She's one of the more forgettable last girls. Nothing really fantastic about her. But oddly enough, the standout character is Shelley, the annoying practical joker. This guy is actually pretty obnoxious. He plays a bunch of really stupid pranks over and over, but for some strange reason you do feel bad for the guy. He's kind of a wimp. He wants to prove his manliness. He wants people to like him, and he wants to get the girl in the end. But hey, he dies anyway, so whatever. So by the time it gets to its climax, there's the usual motions, the running, the screaming, the tearing down of doors, the moment where you think the killer's dead but he's really not. All that's in there. It's nothing we've never seen before, but we do get a good look at Jason's hideously deformed face, and the makeup looks pretty good. And there's also a neat little twist on the ending of the first film. We get some good kills, some good humor, and at the end of it all, Friday the 13th Part 3 is one of the most entertaining parts of the series, 3D or not. Verdict? See it. If you thought Jason was really dead in the last movie, you're sadly mistaken. And if you thought this was actually going to be the final chapter, you may be surprised that there's more than half a dozen sequels to come. Friday the 13th Part 4, the final chapter, despite a misleading title, is a very good entry in the series, and some fans may agree that it's the best one. It downplays the campiness this time and goes for a darker atmosphere. It's also one of the few Friday the 13th to make an attempt at giving us an actual plot and a wider variety of characters. There's the partying teens, of course, but also a character hunting down Jason, whose sister was one of his victims, and also a nice little family living on the lake getting caught in between all this, including little Tommy Jarvis, who went on to become a recurring character in the series. He's a curious little kid with an interest in gruesome makeup effects, and he just may show that Jason's finally met his match. There's a lot to like about this movie. The kills are pretty brutal, and some are pretty funny as well, like the scene where Jason kills that hitchhiker eating the banana. It also has a little bit of star power with 80s icon Corey Feldman in the role of Tommy Jarvis, and it also features an earlier role of the great Crispin Glover, whose dancing skills are indescribable. Seriously, look at this guy's moves. I'd say Crispin Glover ties with Rodney Dangerfield in Caddyshack for the absolute funniest and strangest dancing to ever be put on screen. Tom Savini also returned to work his magic with the makeup, which is a huge plus, and the quality shows. Good, convincing kills, and really top-notch makeup work with the design of Jason's face. He looks creepy as hell. And added to all that goodness, we also get some...
Twins, yes! We're going to see the twins, yes!
Two. Count them. 1, 2. Yes, yeah, 2 of us.
In a lot of ways, it's the quintessential Friday the 13th. The horny teens, the shocking kills with the Savini effects, Jason has his mask, and it's not too cheesy. In fact, the ending scene with Tommy Jarvis going at Jason with a machete, screaming "Die" over and over, is actually kind of unnerving and pretty chilling. So part 4 may not be the final chapter, but it sure is a damn good one. Verdict? See it. Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning, follows the story of Tommy Jarvis from the previous film, now much older, still tormented by memories of Jason, and living in a halfway house full of other mentally disturbed youths. Jarvis is obviously played by a different actor in this one, but Corey Feldman does make a cameo appearance at the very beginning in a dream sequence where Jason emerges from the grave, and for many people, the movie's all downhill from there. I wouldn't entirely agree with them. There's some good stuff to be found in the movie, for sure, but I can see where a lot of the hate comes from. For one thing, it's like they decided to throw in some of the most annoying characters in the world for this one. There's the mentally ill kid at the very beginning who irritates another mentally ill kid so much that he decides the best way to shut him up is with an axe. There's the hillbilly stereotype characters. They bicker back and forth and are only somewhat amusing. And there's that kid. Oh, that kid. Maybe the makers of this movie thought that a child character worked so effectively in the last entry that they should add another one, but the thing is, Tommy Jarvis was kinda cool for a kid, and he stood out because the best characters tend to be smart enough to get into Jason's head, which is what Jarvis did. This new kid is just annoying, and screams and runs a lot, but hey, I guess you have to give them some credit for finally adding in some racial diversity. I suppose it has all the things you're looking for in a Friday the 13th movie. The kills are there, the sex and drugs are there, but it's missing one thing that a lot of people were hoping for. Jason. There's a killer in the movie dressed up like Jason, but it's not Jason. Who is it? Well, I think throughout the movie we're meant to be wondering whether or not Jason actually is back, or if it's Tommy doing the killings, since his past experiences warped him so much. But no, it's neither case. It turns out to be the father of aforementioned annoying axe murder victim, who's wreaking his revenge on everyone responsible for his poor son's death. You can't really blame the guy, I guess. If I wanted to get away with murder, it'd probably be a good idea to convince everyone that it already was a well-known serial killer doing the handiwork. But who really cares about all this, really? It's not like the legends of this douchebag are going to be told around the campfire anytime soon. And it's all just sort of a waste of time. It's like a big fuck you to the audience. This whole movie may as well have been a dream. Is it a terrible slasher movie? Not really, I suppose. It's entertaining enough, but it's certain to piss off some fans of the Jason character. And as a whole, it's a pointless and forgettable chapter. Verdict? Skip it.